are into the lobby now. And, you know, we're going to probably see some agent selects. We'll see if there's anything super interesting off the bat. But another thing I want to talk about kind of the stories of these teams. If we look towards SinCere, that core of the team, Zoe, Rush, and Emily, they were the winners pretty handily of the last Galorants tournament. They picked up Yuletide, those three on Team Ethereal. And for the side of Project X, two of the kind of main core there, Benita, who I talked about, and also Naomi, they played with Project XY, who's kind of the same team, but it had three different players, and they were playing in that most recent Knights, like their February Valentine's Day gauntlet, and they took home the whole tournament there. So both these teams have won big things before, have some really impressive players on it. So hopefully we'll get a good show out of it. But if we look towards the agent locks, unless there's a Sky, it's going to be pretty standard. But I do like to see maybe we're getting some flashes. Never mind. Never mind.
I was gonna say I would expect her to go with Jet. In the
Yeah.
past games that they had in the group stage, Chobo stuck with Jet on Ascent. But this is looking like their pretty typical lineup for this map. While you were casting that first semi, I went in and looked at to see if they ever changed up any of the lineups. But
Sure. Not to be, not to be. All right, well, we are into the pistol round now here on Ascent. It is the side of Project X starting off on the defense. And SinCere, they're going to start on the attack early on, postured towards this B site.
yes. And we do see that both teams do have that Killjoy. She's very good on this map, regardless of which site you really place her on. I'm curious to see if Project X will be swapping her at all, or if they're going to kind of leave her over on the A site and do that triple defense that we're seeing right now on B site.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like SinCere is actually going to be trying to take mid here, which is a pretty good play for this map. Mid control is excellent. Like once you get control there, you have pretty like standard control of the round.
Yeah, Benita up on this jump peak. We'll get some good information. They are just going to kind of close this door. So kind of a chosen strategy to concede the middle of the map here. Players, though, are starting to work in. Chobo finds some pot shots onto the Phoenix as she departs onto the site. But these two players are going to be crunched. They need to at least be good for one. But, well, Emily finds that first, and Chobo pick up one on her way to the grave. Leisha and one other. They're on this work back in, but this is going to be a really tough retake here, Will.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very fast take to get onto site. So Essie coming through with the kill on the smoke.
Yeah, fast take for them to get into things, and a fast cleanup. Good post plant from them there.
Yeah, definitely. As we were saying though, like that was a very fast take of site from SinCere. You know, we saw them go into the mid take. They got spotted out there, but it kind of didn't matter too much. Like it was very easy for them to rush in,
Sure.
get that spike down. And here's what I was talking about before. They've now swapped the Killjoy, sorry, they being Project X, has now swapped their Killjoy over to B site. She's setting up that little bit of a like kill zone along that walkway.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not look like she's going to get to use it, at least immediately.
Yeah. There is a bit of an investment in from Project X, some Buckies, some Sheriffs, and as would be the standard, as much as they can buy in for SinCere. I really like this aggression, actually. Even if Chobo's only really good for one here, it's still good positioning. There's a player up above her, which is going to be a bit awkward as she's found. Leisha picks up one onto Natty, so that's kind of the signal like, maybe we don't want to test them all here. So they'll start to make their way towards B, and maybe that air fryer of Killjoy utility that you mentioned might get some use.
Yeah, we did see that the defense has all rotated over, so they're not in a position really to slow them down from getting onto site.
Yeah, they will at least get their way in here, and with the weapon advantage, it should be a good post plant hold that they can work for. The defense is all fairly stacked up, already starting to work their way in here. The Killjoy turret just so elusive to hit for Leisha, and a drone up to work some information. Emily one swings out. Second frag for her. So with two left alive, the name of the game here is just economy damage, seeing how much they can do. Emily will fall to Benita, so this is good, but at this point, the time so low if they even want to make anything happen here. Two players pushing out front of the dark cover. Rise for one, so this is down to a 1v2. Runs out of ammunition. Lele on the closer, but that's a lot of eco damage.
Yeah, quite a bit, especially because they did, as you had mentioned, they had bought that round, which is going to make it a little bit rough for them this time. That was a really nice take from the attackers, though. SinCere went on site. We saw them. We had been talking about that kind of kill line along the walkway from Killjoy. They completely avoided that, knowing that there was a Killjoy and that her utility was over there after they saw the turret and the alarm bot. They went to the, if you're looking at the site, they went to the right instead, which is not where people typically set up any Killjoy utility. Let them get onto site without taking any damage from those mollies.
Really good positioning from them. Sheriffs are going to be invested back in here, just the bonus up for that attacking side. This seems to be a pretty set piece on the execution here. The dark cover will dissuade and make them start to rotate back out. Chobo is trying to hold for a flank, and Benita is here up behind as well, but they're dispatched of handily. 5 versus 3 now. Naomi, she's going to have her chance up to bat with that Sheriff. They can just kind of barrel past, keep on moving down. Look at the Sova, though, up on this lurk into main, and Rush will capitalize off of that. So Rise, she's got a 1v5 here, and this has been a really good conversion thus far. Not able to hit that, so positioning known, finished off by a nice little shot by Rush, and they keep all their money in it.
Yeah, that not an unexpected result based on what we were seeing them buy for that round. A little bit unfortunate though. There was some really nice flanks coming out from Project X. I think if SinCere hadn't turned around when they did to start running, that actually could have really worked in their favor. It was just a little bit unfortunate there that SinCere saw those dark covers come in and then just went, yeah, you know what? Let's just leave. We can just go to the other side now. It just caught those flankers when they weren't really prepared for it.
This is quite aggressive up towards main. Early exchange. A lot of utility invested. They're just spamming it away back and forth. But this is kind of an interesting thing. I think a lot of teams do this in VALORANT where they just have like these. You see that really explosive start, and they just chill out for the rest of the round.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting strategy to watch people do that, just because it puts the defense on the alert. And once you're on an alert, it's like hard to come off of it quickly, and definitely is tiring.
Yeah, I like the way you say that. It's very tiring to play against something like that. Naomi baiting her little turret there, using it as some cover. They're going to try and start pushing onto the site, but she can swing on to try and shut down some of this execution. Bullets through the cloud burst won't connect. Emily has that door closed, so they're on site, but actually made it through. Good timing for Chobo, but Emily so ready for it, so aware. Post plant in the advantage. Rush, she is hitting shots with her Sheriff. Benita up top trying to peek in. Rush on second shot for her. So perfect, and well, don't give her third. Leisha up top, and what else but Rush to close it out. Another little one tap with the Sheriff. 4-0 now.
Yeah, that is a great win for SinCere. We saw them actually not saving that round. They were doing a bonus round. So they had won, 3 in a row. They decided not to buy up to the rifles. Even knowing that their opponents could get rifles that round, they would just wanted to see how much damage they could do with those SMGs. And they did quite a bit of damage. We're seeing here again that the defense now still has to go back to those pistols. They're all buying Sheriffs, one of them staying with a classic, just for the chance to fix their economy to buy rifles next round. They're definitely having a little bit of trouble here. And they need to get some round wins if they want to stop this kind of like rifle pistol, swapping back and forth.
Chobo in that smoke. She popped the Blade Storm, but not really anything to come of that. So that's an ultimate use so early with absolutely no effect. They're trying to get aggressive. Like they want to find an early advantage here, but the way that SinCere is playing this is so smart. They know that when they have that lower buy, they just kind of go for those set pieces, but then they're just as capable. Slow it right on down, play that default. Very good at playing to their advantages.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a a bit of a change up in their strategy, as you were saying. Like we saw them get very aggressive very early on. The first couple of rounds, they just ran in, or they would make a lot of noise and then run out. This one, they're being much slower about it. The defense kind of has an idea that they might be rotating towards B site. They're all coming over now. They don't have that much time, so I'm expecting them to actually execute here on B and rather than rotating back towards A.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they're making this quite quick. This will have to be the final committal. The Hunter's Fury up available. Benita in backside finds one with the Sheriff. But it's just filled up with the attackers. Just Leisha left to try and clutch us out here. Shock Darts might even try and finish her off. 6 HP left. And not too much more she should be able to do here. Peeks into Rush, and okay, at this point Rush is just flexing. She had it Spectre. She could have just gone for the shot, but you know, give her another one tap. Who cares?
If you can use the Sheriff, you know, more power to you. Rush is very good with that. We've seen her clicking heads the last couple of rounds. I'm very impressed with that. I can't use the Sheriff. But we're seeing an op come out. Chobo's got an op now. It's put her down to 0, so she better not lose it. We call it Christmas Eve whenever you buy an op and then lose it. So hopefully she gets to keep that a little bit longer. Set up looking at that A main, but nobody's really going to push her yet.
Their slow start.
Yeah, talking a little bit earlier about the mental game of Valorant, and SinCere is playing this so well, not sticking to any one strategy, making sure that the defense can never get into a rhythm of, hey, this is what's going to happen. We gotta, you know, we can fix this. We know what they're going to do now, because you don't know what they're going to do. They keep swapping it up every round.
Yeah. That was very similar to what we saw in that last BO3 from Built Butter. Very good at just the mid-round adjustments, the mid-round calling, to make it pretty much impossible to get a clean read. Chobo has a chance with the op here. Jiggle from Natty. She will commit to the line and get taken out as a result. So now this is kind of the first time that they found this early advantage. 37 seconds on the clock, and it's actually not really a lot of map control for the attackers besides this middle position. Door will give away the game, and with this amount of time remaining, it will have to be the committal. Hunter's Fury in the picture, so too is the run it back from the Phoenix. If it has to come to a retake, but Rise, in her position, she's going to be called upon quite handily here. Paranoia up, a 50-50 game, and she'll find the first, swinging out, looking for a second. She'll find that too, and she might even get the spike carrier as well. Rush falls, and it's left just to Zoe, and she has to save here. I caught myself there. I almost said
You
it name
did.
wrong again.
Zoe.
There we go. We hear you, chat.
We hear you. We're trying. That was a really good call from her, though, because, you know, they have the economy for it. That put her up to, I think that actually put her up to 9,000. So she had maxed out, even with the save penalty of being the only one left alive. It didn't hurt them to try to save and to lose that round. However, it did probably help Project X. It's got to feel good to them, finally getting a round under their belt, hoping to maybe turn this into a little bit of momentum, get a couple more here, and stop the domination from SinCere.
Another kind of slower, defaulty start. I find it interesting that Chobo's actually committed to this line again. Oftentimes with these Jet players, you see them switch around very often. I think that, yeah, Drone caught a glimpse. Rush knows she's there, so she's pretty trapped out here. The dash to try and make it out, but they're going to try and hunt her. Good Paranoia, completely locked in this corner, sprayed through the smoke. Great use of the Owl Drone from Rush there.
Right here.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And they had marked it before. I believe we saw, it was probably Natty who marked it out, that that's where she had sat last round. They knew they needed to check that corner this time before they even went around to consider A.
Yeah. These rotations are already starting to come through towards this site. Lockdown available to work into this one, and Zoe actually commits to that from the shadows. Rise is still in backside, and she's still unchecked. Finds one, Leisha for another. The Hunter's Fury keeps them cordoned off in the bomb. Now stuck down on site. Benita will connect one with the bow. Rush, though, in for two. Emily assists as well, so Rise has to be the hero here. 20 seconds, but she eats a shock dart. All right, there you go, Rush. Rush is still on her game.
Yeah, I mean, that was unfortunate. They knew exactly where Rise was sitting. It was going to be very hard for her unless she could have forced those 1v1s. But Emily actually played that very well because Rise heard her jump down, but she hid in the corner. So Rise was going to have to come out of her hiding space in the back there in order to actually take that fight to Emily, which would have made her very open to Rush. Though, I mean, as we saw, Rush didn't need the help. She just shot the shock dart in there.
Yeah. Ooh, nice little hot hands there to keep them at bay. Chobo is still on this op, but the money's so low. If they lose out on this one, they're going to be completely reset. 6-1 scoreline. It's looking so good right now for SinCere.
Yeah, and they're not making too much noise, but they have made their presence known here. You see Chobo is set up waiting for that rotation, knowing that they like to rotate to the other side coming through mid. She's just ready and waiting for them.
Look at this
And at this point,
direction.
go ahead.
Look where Silva is. I just wanted to point out where Benita is. She has them completely kind of pushed up here. So much map control to work with. So if they push into this, the flank can be there quite quickly. Now that's going to be the signal for Benita to start coming up on this flank here.
Yeah, definitely. And they have no idea that she's back there. They haven't done this kind of flank before, so there's no reason for SinCere to even look back that way.
30 seconds left.
Hunter's Fury up for Rush, and Rush might actually be thinking about the flank. A lockdown countered. I don't know how Naomi found that. Quite magical, but Rush will shut down the flank attempt from Benita. That's gone to waste. So this is a 3-on-2 now, advantage with the defense, and these players push completely back into their spawn. One even gets detained. Naomi holding the defuse, and nothing they can do at this point. Shock darts, they're coming just too... Wait, no! I thought that was going to be too late. They actually get him off the spike, but it's already half, and Rise can just hold on to this. Rush finds the ace, but it's not worth anything as they find that round for 2.
Yeah, and you saw her that she did actually see that up on the ground, decided not to take it. They're doing very well with their rifles. They don't really need that long game gun the way that the defense does, so that was probably, for the best to leave it there. Oh, that was so close. That was a really nice shock dart. Rush definitely has her lineup set for this map. The fan. It looks like we're going to have kind of a similar execution to what we saw in the first round, where they take mid control, try to see what's going on over here. Somebody's prepared to come in through B main for a nice B hit, which is going to be nice because 3 are over on A because they've been going A the last couple of times.
I find it interesting that they don't really ever contest this mid area. They tend to just give it up. Benita?
Project X, yeah.
Yeah, Benita in close here. She can't find much with that Spectre. Although, Zoman always in backside, always a bother is Rise. She'll find that first one onto Lele, looking for a second. That's Emily out as well. Still one on site. The pinch in from the team. A third round, so this is a bit of momentum starting to build for Project X. And they will take a tack timeout here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the rules for the tournament. I'm not sure they can actually take a timeout until the half, but... All right.
This is a good tack. This is a good time to take a tack. I like it, because they need the rest of these rounds. Let it happen. Let it happen. I love tack timeouts. Sorry, go ahead.
That was a really nice retake from them. I mean, it's not really retake. They didn't actually get the spike down, but it was very well coordinated. They knew where the attackers were coming from. There was good communication. They did lose... The defense did lose a couple of players going in, but everybody rotated fast enough that they were able to trap SinCere on the site and get that match or that round win.
Yeah, Rise has been so important in that position back in Boathouse. I feel like every round she's there, she's always at least good for 2. Like she always finds impact, always finds those picks, and having a player like that who can just consistently hold down the fort and always provide you frags is so pivotal. It's made the B side really hard to take. It looks like tack time is over. So we're going to start loading back into this one. And the reason I was saying how much I love this tack is because this is going to be kind of the swing round. This is going to decide if SinCere continues to kind of run away here and build rounds and have a really strong half, or if Project X can start to keep kind of working in here and maybe pull us to something a more even.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, we're not seeing too much difference in terms of like where the defense is setting up right now.
Careful.
But we'll have to see how this works for them.
I love how slow they take things. They know that they can just kind of stay in advantage. They just chill out, play their picks, because they're really giving away so much map control for not much work. And being able to work that through, really impactful. This Killjoy and teammates still kind of set up towards the A site, and that is where SinCere is starting to lean. Killjoy still up on that lurk. That's Lele over towards B, but with 40 seconds left, this will probably have to be a committal here.
Yeah, if they were going to rotate, they have to do it now. But since they're not, it's going to have to be an A execution.
Yeah, run it back, plus a paranoia. Up Emily, really quick trade. She gets knocked down real low for her troubles. Rush trying to jump above the slowly closing door, but she's found regardless. So this is a 4 versus 4. Teleport stopped for the Omen. So they're trying to work back in, and this retake might be coming in really quick. Naomi up in heaven, already trying to spot them out. 1 down in hell. The defenders on the site, 2 trapped out there, and 2 in the dark cover. Dropping down, Naomi taken as Zoasi finds 2. The kills continue coming up in their favor, and that's a great post-plant hold.
That was very nice from the attackers. We've been seeing this from SinCere quite a bit, where they, once they get that spike down, they have great control over it. If they can get the spike down, they have really good defense of that retake. And Project X hasn't quite figured out how to defeat that. We've seen them get a couple of defusal wins, but not that often. Most of the time, if the spike goes down, that's game over.
Yeah. Definitely been tough for them, and now this is 7-3, and I feel like from what we've seen from some of these members of SinCere before, their post plants are just, or I'm sorry, their defensive sides are just so strong. But this aggression, this is a little bit different up mid. Just the pistol, so not much artillery to back it up. Leisha, her aggression punished early by Zoasi. So again, just a 5-on-4 here.
Yeah, we do see a lot of the doors are probably being closed, trying to cut off those lines of entry from the attackers. Just taking a little bit slow, making some noise, trying to figure out where's the best place to actually bring that spike. They have 50 seconds, so they could still go to either of the sites.
Ooh, Chobo up close. She's good for 1 with the Blade Storm. Weapon recoverable as well, but look at this off angle up top from the Omen. Naomi caught completely off guard. It's a 4-on-3, and this A site all but completely free. Lele's lurk pays off in dividends as Benita is taken out. That from the shadows, that's going all the way into spawn. Defender side at spawn. Now Zoasi has a flank, but instead Rush again up on that closer. Let's talk about Rush. 16-3 right now on the Sova.
Yeah, she is popping off this game. We've seen multiple times where she was the one with the sheriff, right? She keeps getting those sheriff headshots early on in this half, and a couple of shock dart kills to really kind of clutch the rounds for her team. She's doing very well right now. And we see that they did get or Project X did get a couple of rounds. However, it didn't really help their economy. They really are damaged economy-wise for basically this whole half here. We're seeing them on the SMGs now. Even if they win this round, they're not going to be able to buy everything that they want. It's going to be a
It's the
little
last
bit of
round
an
and a half.
issue. Oh, it's the last round and a half. Never mind.
Yeah, so the buy's not good for what it
Not good.
is. Lele, though, she'll pick up that first frag there. Naomi has the blender ready as Rise picks up two somehow, practically out of nowhere. She will be traded out by Lele, but look how quick this flank is in. Chobo has them trapped in. They have to push her away, try and fight their way out in the spray, just not quite enough to find it. They're trying to run away. Leisha up behind, but she runs out of time on the run it back. Naomi, again, too late to cut off this rotation. So this is a disadvantage retake towards the A site, and look at the ults available.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the just like timing mismatches here for Project X, and it's very unfortunate.
You should run.
Lockdown initiated. Nothing really available to nullify that. So they might just be forced to concede back here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2v3. That's not bad odds, but that did waste some of the timer that they had. They don't have that much time. We've got the Silva ult. It's going to cut them off from going anywhere near heaven.
And that's going to waste like the rest of the time here. They have to push in. No time, no chance. Lele finds 9-3.5.
Yeah, not the worst, you know, score to go into the half at, but also not great. They've got to be thinking, what do they need to change here? Now that they're on attack, you know, is SinCere going to be as aggressive as we were seeing them when they were attacking? Are they going to be aggressive on defense? How is Project X going to counter that? So this will be very interesting. These first few rounds are definitely going to be very important for Project X. They really need to get the pistol and then the secondary round here. Because if they don't, then that's going to put SinCere up at 10, possibly 11. That's going to make them closer to match point. And at that point, it becomes very much a mental game of, you know, trying to keep your morale up while you have to close this huge differential in rounds.
Always tough, Chobo. Though, that's the ever wonderful frenzy available to try and find something. I like that they're also taking this slow, kind of playing the map control here, but the mid control is very different for the defensive side of SinCere. This Killjoy alarm bot down will give early intel for Rush to play off of, and the Owl drones will be exchanged towards middle.
Yeah, a lot of information coming out for both the attack and the defense here in terms of like where people are situated.
Coming up through, Zozy finds one Benita on the trade. They'll close the door, lock the gates behind them. Benita, as it falls down, finds Natty. One player left. It's Emily. She's dinked down low. And Rush, though, I don't even know how she found those two. And she still has 2 shock darts available. Can try and deny this plant with them. The shocks won't land, so the spike initiated. That's also going to kind of zone them off. Killjoy turret. And also a dart coming soon here.
Yeah, 2v2, not bad odds here. They do have plenty of time on the timer because that spike did just go down. There's not much that the attack have right now that will stall them out until they at least get onto site.
Dart off, no information garnered, but now they're spotted out. Peek through, Leisha for 1, but now she's down so low. This is doable still for Lele. Has a bit of armor, good health remaining. The blind is up, but it goes the wrong way. Lele, however, misses that right click, and, well, 1 HP, that's all Leisha needs, as they'll find the pistol.
Yes, and they needed that. That was wonderful for them. And we're seeing them actually, like, buy up pretty hard here. We see, at least the Bulldog coming out, you know, those SMGs. They really want the second round. They need it. They need to put it up to 5v9. That would be great. You know, that's really closing the distance in the round differential. I'm liking that we're seeing that SinCere's not actually buying this round. They're not going to make that mistake of, if we lose this round, then we can't buy third round. They're going to make sure that they can get their rifles third round.
They're sending it in off that paranoia. No, well, yeah, there's Leisha. Never mind, nothing quite to come of it. Quick spray down, and there's her ace. Nice little eco bash. Free kills for her to kind of, you know, that's a good ult economy farmed up too. Run it back available.
Yeah, and exactly what we were talking about. That was the expected second round, especially when SinCere's not buying any guns or they probably bought their abilities, but they didn't actually use that many of them. So
Mm.
definitely save from their economy. We can see now they're getting their rifles, they're getting their armor. Everybody probably bought full util usage. And Project X is now doing that bonus round that we were talking about before, where they just use the rounds or the guns that they had the round before, just trying to do more damage than anything to their opponents.
Yeah, run it back up for Glacier. She's actually pushing this all the way into spawn, but will be taken out by Lily. Rush trades through. 4v4 retake. Rush has shock darts, also an owl drone to work back in on. So they have a lot of utility available. And the post-line positioning, well, there leaves something to be desired. They're all kind of trapped out on site. One playing up towards the lane will be revealed, so Leisha will have to fall back. But look how well they're kind of rounding out this clock. It's going to have to be a quick retake here.
Yeah, definitely. And they can do that. I mean, B side, it's everybody's sitting in there. They just need to push together in order to kind of trap
Still,
them
look
between.
at the time. They're locked out. They're swarm grenades. They're not even able to get on site quite yet. Now they have to barrel out, waterfall up from heaven, and it just comes down to those trades. The time is a real enemy there.
Yeah, definitely. They, sorry, SinCere did make that execution very well. They, you know, went together, ran onto site, got there, but it was a bit of a firefight. And with that Phoenix wall coming up, that kind of blocked their sight lines. They couldn't get any early information on where the defenders were sitting on site. Just a little bit unfortunate, you know. Big chaotic firefights could go either way, but Project X has to be happy with that. Bring it up. They've only got to make up 3 more rounds here. They're doing very well for their attack side of this map.
Yeah, and look at this stack, actually. For the side of SinCere, this is a pretty good read. Project X, they're heading right towards this position, and the Owl Drone will only see one there. This is actually a really good fake out. They're going to kill Emily, so they think, oh, this is time to go in, but there's a judge in close from Zoe. She finds 4 there, and Lily on the last. That was an execution, a perfect bait.
So SD was just, oh my god, they did not check that side. Wow. Really nice round from her. That was beautiful from Zoesi.
I can't quite say her name, but if she keeps playing, making plays like that, I might have to learn it pretty soon here. Jeez.
Yeah, nobody expects the judge to just be sitting there.
I love that bait. Like, Jet sacrificed her life there, but, I mean, I think that's definitely worth it. Completely baited in. Beautiful from them.
Yeah, really nice one-way here. We see Emily has the op kind of in the same place that Chobo had been sitting with it over on that A long side. But she doesn't see anybody. Immediately is going to move back out. Look for somewhere else to bring that gun.
Again, Emily is so good at kind of getting rid of owl drones. It would otherwise kind of screw over some of her teammates in a weird position. And, well, it's going to capitalize quite well for Natty. That's also the spike available for her. And, well, Leisha and her teammate, they have sight control, but, well, they don't have the spike, and they will kill Natty, so that's a good position. But Emily, she still is holding this line up top. Good recon, the Hunter's Fury trying to follow up on it. So this is going to force them away. She's just keeping them off of this spike. And look how low everyone is. They're going to be able to commit onto site, but the retake is already right here. They're waiting, standing at the gates.
Spike planted.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple of ults come out here just to try to do this retake.
All players stuck on site. Oh, Rush, what a nice adjustment. Nice shot from her. Zoe C, another. It's left on to Naomi. That's 11 rounds now.
Yeah, that was a good round from both teams, honestly. Really good round from both teams. But Emily plays, you were saying that she gets rid of Owl Drones very well. She plays the Owl Drones very well too, because she shot that with her pistol rather than the gun that she had, which was the op. So going into that, the attackers, Project X, had no idea that she even had an op.
Yeah.
I think she did fire it once, so they're now aware that there is an op in play somewhere. But still, being able to hold on to that information was really well done from her. And she got rid of the owl drone, so her buddy, I think it was Natty, was over there,
Deploying drone.
wasn't spotted out when she went to the long and was able to get that double kill and the spike down.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, this is quite aggressive off that owl drone. Natty has gonna run it back. There's one in close. She doesn't check on it, but the Killjoy can't quite adjust to save her fast enough. She will find Rush though, and that's also gonna be a gun that they can pick up. And if we look towards the other side of the map, they're waterfalling in towards this A site. Lily up, but she cannot find that. Benita gets her, but from the afterlife, the swarm grenades will pick that. 3 versus 3 now. Another A retake, and now they have advantage.
Yeah, but Chobo does have her knives out. That is definitely an ult that you need to watch out for. It's going to make them play a little bit more defensively, trying to catch her and not get hit with those.
And our position is known. Rise down in hell. She has to be good for at least 1 here, and she might even be good for 2. An awkward spray down, not quite connecting. Emily there. We'll pick up the last.
Yeah, and that's going to make it match point for them, which is a 6-12 going into the next round.
Well done.
That's going to be a hard difference to make up for Project X. At this point, this is game 1 out of 3 that they could potentially go to. Do you think they would consider maybe just like leaving it and just saying like, let's save our energy, go to game 2 and take game 3 as well? Or is this where you have to like really just dig deep and try to get those 6 rounds to bring it to overtime?
I think you make a good point there, because it's gonna be really improbable for Project X to pull back in here. But I think no matter what, you always want to try and commit in as much as you can, because you want to keep the team energy up. You don't want to act like, okay, they're better, we're just gonna concede. Even if like maybe in your heart of heart you know that it's gonna be tough, you still want to try in it just for your confidence. And Natty sure as hell is confident, peeking out for a 1-tap onto Naomi. Leisha trying to run it back into sight, and well, she might just run out of time before finding anything. No, Emily taken out there. Rush over on the other side will start to rotate in, but this means that the A site now compromised, up in control, but defenders, they're going to be on the scene quickly.
Yeah, and that was very interesting because we did see Rise use her ultimate to try to get over to A site, and they killed it, so she wasn't able to stay there with the spike, but they're still gonna go trying to get to A.
Yeah, that owl drone didn't clear out hell, so maybe a false sense of safety for Rush. Natty in position. The spike will be initiated. They have a Killjoy lockdown if they want to use it.
Yeah, and they could. I mean, it's a 4v3. That's not bad odds going in. 3v3 now.
Yeah, even odds, and they will commit to that lockdown. The Hunter's Fury from Benita will immediately nullify it, but Chobo right up on the dark cover. A standoff, and that wall will give away the information, but Zoe is ready to help out. Now, disadvantage. Both players stuck in main. Now it's just Benita. She has to clutch through, sees one through the wall with the recon bolt. She has the shock, knocks Natty off of the spike. Time so low. Zoe finds it, but there just isn't time. They hold on. It's 7.
Oh no. She tried. Zoe tried so hard to get out of there. But yeah, that was... It's always hard with the Killjoy ult to decide when to use it, especially when the other team has like a Sova or even a Brimstone that has their ult up, because you know it's essentially, it's not going to be very useful to your team because it's just going to draw out that other ult. So rather than thinking about, is the lockdown the best to play here because it's going to get people off site, it's, is the lockdown best to play here to get rid of that other team's ult?
Yeah.
Careful now.
This A site just seems like the place where consistently the violence has come down. They're 3-stacking as a result, but this time the spike is actually sitting towards B. I think if they maybe sell a fake here, that could be big. That could be their chance to close out, without letting this go much further. And if you're a fan of SinCere, I mean, you'd want them to pick this up and maybe try and go for the 2-0 because whoever wins this, they have to go directly into the grand finals. They'll have like a 10-minute break and then it's right back into the action. They don't get to reset. They don't get to be like built butter. They're probably sitting. They can watch this right now. They can see who they're going to be playing against. Whereas you got to just keep going if you
Yeah,
do make it
and
through from
it's
this
gonna
one.
be exhausting.
Yeah.
2 best of 3s back to back.
Absolutely. Leisha in lane. Lele backside for one. Traded by Chobo. 4 versus 4 here.
seconds left.
Defenders on the case. Benita, great shock dart to find Rush. So again, just waiting.
Spike
Emily
planted.
awaiting her compatriots to aid in this retake. Rise down in credit card. And this post-plant positioning, it's so interesting in that they're very aggressive up towards market. And they're just going to save. I love this call.
Yeah, no, this honestly isn't a bad call here. Just they can give up a couple of more rounds. They don't really want to give up those rifles. We can see on their economy that were they to lose the rifles right now, they wouldn't be able to buy them back next round.
Mhm.
So saving them, not a bad idea. Keep them here, you know, possibly being able to
Benita's
buy
on the hunt.
one of their fallen comrades next time. Oh,
Yeah,
she
she
is.
might be able
She's
to take one
waiting.
of these rifles. Oh, never mind. Natty's ready. She didn't really fully check that. Unfortunate for Benita, but still around.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me that they sent one out to hunt once they
Mhm.
realized that there was going to be a save here. Because you always want to do whatever you can to, you know, damage the economy of your opponents.
Yeah, it looks like there's another pause for a moment. I don't know. There's probably some tournament admin-y stuff going on with that. But we'll see if we're okay. We are going to be just live back into it. So never mind on there being attack. 8-12 here, and you were talking about how this was going to be a really tough comeback, but they're starting to kind of build into this. That save means that there can be rifles bought over. So another full buy fielded, but if they lose this one, it's going to be a reset for SinCere.
Yeah, definitely. They really can't afford to lose this one. Well, I mean, they could afford based on the rounds. They still have 4 rounds on Project X, but it would not feel good because if they give
No.
up this round, they'll probably have to give up the next round because they'll be on a save. And that's when you start to get a little bit too close for comfort.
Swarm grenade out.
They've changed the setup a little bit again. This time, 3 towards B. The alarm bot plus Emily in the mid. The alarm bot will trigger. She hears the steps, one going into market, can hear a second. When this dark covers clears, the timing will be so important for her. She's still just holding on tight. Benita just outside. She turns away, but adjusts back in. And Naomi picks up another 2 opening picks. And it's another round where it's going to be hard. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw them save again. They don't have any ults to work back in with. And Benita up on a flank. This is going to be so perfect from her. She could have 2 backs presented in just a moment. However, the other Sova also working a flank. That's Rush. Good awareness from Zoacy though. So this is into a 3-on-4. More doable now, especially if Rush can find something from her flank in A main. All of the attackers positioned either in Hell or on the site spam through the floor. Nothing quite yet. Rush kills one of the Hell players, and now that's the position of Chobo. Known the remaining back in heaven. Good shot from Lele. Now they know where one is. Still this unknown quantity in Hell. Chobo for one dashes across. She'll find them both. 9-12.
Yeah, Project X is not giving up here. I honestly really commend them for this. They are bringing it back. That's 3 words. 3 rounds in a row now that they have won pretty handily here. And as we were talking about, we're seeing on the defensive side, SinCere cannot really buy rifles. We're seeing maybe one come out, a hero rifle potentially, but they've got to be careful here because it's getting to the point where they can't just like take their economy for granted anymore.
Yeah.
They have to win a round in the next 3, otherwise they're going to overtime. And even if they win after that overtime, just the amount of pressure and exhaustion from playing extra rounds and then having to go into a second game, potentially having to go to the finals after that, you know, they really want to
Potentially even a
close
third
out
game
this
here.
game. yeah, they really want to close out now rather than allowing that to happen.
This is a very heavy stack from SinCere into the B site. Again, Project X. They take this mid control. They normally don't go off it. Normally kind of pull back afterwards, as we see them do now. And they might be heading straight into the stack, Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good read from SinCere.
So is he as a judge right up there. They spot out the barrel though. Leisha for one, but the judge there. Natty, the Molly will kill her own teammate, but this is a 3-on-3. Emily, another, the hero rifle paying off well. She doubles down another. That's 3 for her. And now a 1 versus 1. The game laughed onto the shoulders of Chobo. She has the spike, can initiate it, but who else but Roxanne, her signature weapon. Sheriff, what she has to work with, spots out 55 HP. Shock darts, trying to find some information. She's rotating around. Has a rifle now. Eventually, a recon dart to reveal. Didn't quite spot out, but now the recon dart will to a standoff, 1 on each side. She has to make a sound cue to jump in, but she'll find the shot, and she has the time. It's 13-9. SinCere take Ascent.
Yeah, really nice round from them. Just they're got to be happy with that because
Yeah.
they really needed to get that